The Giants went ahead and got themselves a new coach. Let's talk about it. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. And the Giants finally were able to get themselves a coach after being denied of interview requests from both the Falcons and the Chargers. The Giants finally landed a coach of the offensive line, Carmen Bricillo. Yes, his actual name is Carmen Bricillo, and it's no coincidence that the man looks just like Brian Daboll. Staggering resemblance. He's gonna fit right in. But like I said, the Giants were denied 2 interview requests before they were able to get Carmen in. I believe he was the first one they were able to bring in, if I'm getting my time of events right. But like I said, the Giants were denied by the Falcons for their offensive line coach, Dwayne Ledford, and Chargers special teams coordinator, Ryan Ficken. Now, these are both teams that are without their head coaches, as Arthur Smith was fired from the Falcons, and so was Brandon Staley from the Chargers. But it seems like if they were to bring in a new head coach, they actually want to keep those coaches respectively in-house. But the Giants land themselves a pretty good coach in Carmen Bricillo. Now, he is from the Bill Belichick coaching tree, as he came along with Josh McDaniels when he took the job from New England as offensive coordinator to the head coach of the Raiders. We all know how that went down. And Bricillo had himself a really good track record. There's a little bit of a fun fact over there of the individual players under his offensive line and how they performed. And also a quick little stat, the Raiders have only allowed 40 sacks this season in 2023, which ranks 12th in the NFL, 12th fewest in the NFL. And just comparing it to the Giants, I mean, it's laughable. As you guys know from my previous video, the Giants managed to almost create history in the 2023 season. Not in a good way, but the Giants have allowed 85 sacks in total in one season. 85 sacks. That means, as Giants fans, we were able to watch a quarterback, one of the 3 quarterbacks starting for the Giants, get sacked 85 times, which is more than double the Raiders offensive line under offensive line coach Carmen Bricillo. So let's just say he has a lot of work to do. He's been also pretty consistent in his time as an offensive line coach in the NFL. He coached for 2 seasons with the New England Patriots before he was brought over with Josh McDaniels, and he was the offensive line coach since then, and both offensive line performed pretty well under his watch. Also in 2022, the offensive line allowed a loss or no gain only 68 times in the NFL in 2022. That was the lowest in the NFL. And like I said, Bricillo has a lot of work to do with the offensive line, not only in the pass game where the Giants allowed the second most sacks in NFL history, but in the run game as well, as Saquon Barkley had a very disappointing 3.9 yards per carry. And I'm not going to say it is all him. The offensive line has a huge part to do with it, as this is probably the worst year I've seen an offensive line in my entire life, both in the pass and run game, and it really affected Saquon Barkley's numbers. As I said, Saquon Barkley only put up 3.9 yards per carry, and the rest of the running backs is a depressing 2.12 yards per carry. Every single running back combined, other than Saquon Barkley, with the Giants this season, 2.12 yards per carry. That is unheard of. So the Giants have their offensive line coach settled. Now they still have to look for a defensive assistant. I'm not sure if every team has one of those, but we fired one. We might hire another, a new outside linebackers coach, and a new special teams coordinator. Now, I don't know who those guys may be. I don't know who is on the market. I don't know who is looking for another opportunity. It can be literally anybody on any team, or even somebody off the couch. We're just gonna have to wait to see who the candidates are and go from it from there, because as analysts, as fans, we have no idea who they will bring in and who's on the market. So now, as far as defensive coordinators go, we may have a little sort of hint on who they may bring in. As you guys know, there was this weird meeting between the Giants, Brian Daboll, Joe Schoen, and former Buffalo Bills defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier, as he came to the Giants facility, and a lot of people were saying it was just because it was just chilling, hanging out. I don't believe that whatsoever. I think there may be something more to this, as maybe the Wink situation was starting to take course, and maybe Leslie Frazier was brought in to say, hey, like, are you available just in case we had to let go of Wink or some sort of case. I don't know if they're going to bring in Leslie Frazier. Leslie Frazier used to be a head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, so he has head coaching experience as well. And he's also had a pretty good defense and very good defense statistically with the Buffalo Bills in his time there. And I believe he was with some other teams as well, and it's escaping my mind as of right now. Also, another candidate, I think number one on the Giants list right now, for whatever reason, is Antonio Pierce, the interim head coach for the Raiders. Now, I do strongly believe it's going to be between him and Jim Harbaugh for that Raiders job. If he doesn't get it, I'm not sure if the Giants are going to pursue him. Maybe they'll give him an interview. He is a former Giant, former Super Bowl champion. I don't know if the Giants are in position to take somebody like him. It would be nice to take somebody like him, but that's all in hopes that it would work out, and we are just trying to figure things out and not try to take too many chances as of right now. But I do like Antonio Pierce. He just doesn't have too much experience. I know he was a defensive coordinator for Arizona State at one point, but that was pretty much it. He doesn't really have much coordinator experience other than that, but you got to start somewhere, so I do understand that. And another one could be Dan Quinn. Now, Dan Quinn is going to be doing an interview with the Seattle Seahawks, as Pete Carroll is stepping down as head coach. I firmly believe Dan Quinn will get that job, and we'll see what happens from there, but I think the Giants should very well be interested in a Dan Quinn defensive coordinator sort of hiring. Now, it would be interesting because just like Wink Martindale, I believe Dan Quinn also had an interview for the Giants for head coach, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, or was that for a defensive coordinator job? I cannot remember, but I know Dan Quinn did interview here at one point, or was interested in that. So we'll see what happens there, but that is all I got for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. I'll see you guys in the next video.